The early years. During the 1960s, many sub-Saharan African countries gained their independence from Western colonial powers. This created new opportunities for these countries and for diplomatic and non-governmental organizations to establish a presence. The influx of foreign families brought with it the need for schools for their children. These began to be created, sometimes informally, in living rooms or rented houses, and later as purpose-built facilities. Since communication and transportation were a challenge in some locations in Africa, the staff in these new schools, who were often located far from each other, could be very isolated and began to feel the need for additional support and interaction, including professional learning opportunities. In response to this need, annual conferences were informally organized by schools in venues across Africa to enable as many school staff as possible to attend. 50 years ago, in 1969, Dr. Paul Lübke from the Office of Overseas Schools of the US State Department was the one who planted the seed of a more formal organization that was later to become the Association of International Schools in Africa, the AISA, or AISA. AISA puts down roots. Although annual conferences were held during the first 10 years, 1969 to 1979, the loosely formed association struggled with organizational logistics, continuity, and funding. It was decided to hire a part-time executive director to give some leadership and guidance to conference planning and structure. New efforts were also made to create formal policies and procedures for the emerging association. As the turnover of school leaders, staff, and board members created challenges for the young schools, the association began to offer additional professional support programs to educators, including strategic planning, governance, and school finance workshops. Around this time, regular newsletters were created that enhanced communication among member schools. As AISA conferences grew ever larger with more delegates attending, they became eagerly anticipated events among the growing number of schools being established across the continent. Even in these early days, conference attendees reported that they looked forward to what they could learn, to meeting colleagues from around the continent, to viewing the growing exhibition from business associates, as well as the chance to go shopping. AISA consolidates its role. In addition to expanding its annual conferences, AISA began to offer other services, such as an annual staff remuneration survey, more specialized learning institutes during the year, as well as serving as a communication hub and support network, particularly for schools in crisis. In doing so, the association developed its ongoing ethos of helpfulness, expertise, and community building as it responded to pleas for support, with the executive directors striving to visit schools and provide any assistance they could. The executive director's position was expanded to full-time, and additional support staff were hired so the diverse needs of AISA member schools could be more effectively addressed. AISA in the modern era. In 2009, AISA was poised to take a leap forward in the development of its programming with a clear focus on improving student learning in its member schools. A newly developed interactive website, communication system, publications, and upgraded brand identity complemented AISA's new approach, reflecting a more forward-thinking, student-centered organization. Conferences were reorganized to take advantage of better transportation hubs in African cities and became more accessible and efficient, while the learning sessions became more targeted and in-depth. In recent years, AISA expanded its professional staff by appointing a Director of Professional Learning and Director of Communications and Partnerships. AISA introduced world-leading programs in the areas of child protection, school governance, school effectiveness, blended learning, and service learning, shaping the future of international education in Africa. As AISA celebrates its 50th year of life, it is dedicated to continuous analysis and improvement of its current programs while keeping its focus on building a sustainable future for the association. Most importantly, the focus will remain on the students, ensuring that AISA schools have the knowledge, skills and resources they need to provide quality education well into the future, to enable them to thrive wherever they move around the world. Key activities moving forward will be to nurture strategic partnerships, to bring world-class experts to our region, to further develop our reputation for excellence and innovation in our child protection and service learning programs, and to introduce a new research-based well-being program. AISA will also continue to offer research-informed professional learning experiences designed on the principles of good practice that are led by international experts in their field. AISA, celebrating the past, shaping the future.